Saint Shenouda. Once upon a time, in a faraway city called Shandaweil, there lived a kind and wise man named Saint Shenouda. He was known as the Archimandrite, which is a title given to a respected spiritual leader. Saint Shenouda's father was a farmer who had many sheep, and when Saint Shenouda was a young boy, his father entrusted him with taking care of the sheep. Little Shenouda was a very special boy. He loved God and spent his days fasting and praying while he watched over the sheep. One day, his father took him to his uncle, Anba Bgoul, who was a holy man, to receive a blessing. As Anba Bgoul laid his hands on Shenouda's head, he said, "You will be a father for many peoples." This meant that Shenouda would grow up to be a great leader for many people. As Shenouda grew older, he felt a strong calling to devote his life to God completely. He followed the teachings of Saint Shenouda and became a monk. Many other people also felt inspired by Shenouda's devotion and joined him in the monastery. The number of monks grew to 1,800, and their monastery became known as the Monastery of Anba Bgoul. Saint Shenouda's dedication to God was so strong that he built another monastery, and this one had even more monks, 2,200 in total. It was called the Monastery of Anba Bgoul, named after him. One day, an army commander came to Saint Shenouda seeking help in a battle. He asked for Shenouda's girdle, which is a special belt that monks wear, to wear during the war, hoping that God would grant him victory. Saint Shenouda, full of kindness and faith, gave the girdle to the commander. And just as the commander hoped, he won the battle with God's help. Saint Shenouda's wisdom and teachings spread far and wide. He became famous for his sermons and canons, which are like rules to live by, and he shared his knowledge with monks, leaders, and ordinary people, both men and women. He even attended a big meeting called the Council of Ephesus, where he bravely stood up against a heretic named Nestorius and defended the true teachings of Jesus. As he grew older, Saint Shenouda knew that his time on earth was coming to an end. He gathered his disciples, the people who followed his teachings, and asked them to support him as he prepared to worship God in a special way. He prayed and worshipped God with all his heart, and then he told his followers to continue his work and follow in his footsteps. Saint Shenouda's mission on earth was complete, and he peacefully departed to be with God. He left behind a legacy of love, wisdom, and devotion to God, and he asked his disciples to continue spreading the light of God's love to everyone they met. The lessons we can learn from Saint Shenouda's life are to be devoted to God and follow his teachings with love and kindness. Just like Saint Shenouda, we can be shining lights in the world by spreading love, wisdom, and compassion to all people, just as God wants us to do. And even when our time on earth comes to an end, if we live a life dedicated to God and others, we can be sure that we will find peace and joy in His presence forever. See you again soon. Subscribe, like and share.